Hey everyone. Yeah, sorry, there's bad weather outside again, so we're stuck in the house. But what do you say we do an OpsCore series? Today we'll be talking about the OpsCore optical lineup with the Mark I glasses and lenses, along with the OpsCore step-in visor. And this gear is pretty legit, and the stuff it can do is absolutely crazy. Alright though, let's get to it. So as I said, this is our first video in our OpsCore series, and I'm really hoping to show you like a different division of OpsCore each month, beginning with the optical series today. Then later we'll move into the respirator side with the SOTR, the helmet side with the SF helmet, and the communication side with the amp headset. Sorry, my amps are on back order, so you don't get a cool B-reel of those. So then I'll do a video on each category that OpsCore focuses on, and then we'll do one video at the end where I connect it all up into the helmet so I can show you how it all connects together into like one cohesive unit. Maybe we'll even have our PVS 14s by then to finish it all off. Maybe. Don't hold your breath. But I definitely want to share my Wilcox G11 and G14 debacle that happened, so you don't want to miss that mistake. And yes, I hear you, someone out there saying, Walsh, how the hell is this a civilian angle when OpsCore is like high-end military gear? And I'll tell you, it all kind of blends together. That really good military gear often lends to be really good civilian gear, but whether or not you need that high-tier level of gear, well, that's really up to you. And I aim to show you all the features of all the products on the market, not just what some internet fart stuffer over on Reddit is telling you need to buy. From Olight flashlights to piss them off to high-end comms and PTTs and everything in the middle. My aim is to show you so then when you know all the features and capabilities of all the different gear, you can make the smartest purchase and decision on what you need. Instead of me being an elitist ass like I see in a lot of these comments, where they're all so interested in deciding what's best for you, and I think you're smart enough to decide for yourself. So this is my long way of saying I'm showing you this tip-top tier with OpsCore gear, so you can know the features of the really good stuff so you can make the smartest decision for yourself. So then today, we're going to be focused on looking at the Mark Is closely, then take a look at the modularity of the Mark I system along with the different lenses and inserts, and kind of what you'd use the different lenses and inserts for so you know which ones would best fit your mission needs. Remember, you're a smarty, you got this. Then we'll take a look at the step-in visor and go over its features and lens options. And I'll actually show you how to swap out the lenses on those too. And then we'll end with our normal like pros, cons, and if I recommend it. But let's quit screwing around. Let's get a closer look at those Mark I sunglasses. What? No, I'm not going to go back and say who OpsCore is. I don't think that's needed. We literally just said they weren't dumb. Well, one quick thing though, let me show you the different buying options so you can know what the buying options are, what it all comes with, and then what is actually extra. When you purchase the Mark I glasses, you have the option to choose your frame color first, and the colors range from black, tan, green, and gray. That gray is just dirty looking. I love it. And then you have the choice of what lenses you want. Tint, tint with clear, or dazzle. And there are more lens options such as high contrast and different insert types that are also sold separately. But we'll go over all the different lenses and all the different inserts so you know exactly what you need or want. All right, let's get to it already. Looking first at the Mark I frames, we see a wraparound frame style that is designed to fit closely to the face and stay securely in position in extreme conditions. To make this possible, the frames themselves are aluminum construction that uses all-metal hardware and hinges for the entire frame. And an all-metal frame may sound a little bit weird, but hear me out on why this is actually really cool. Since the frame itself is metal, it's fully moldable, and the instructions help to go over both the frame and temple adjustments, so it's fully adjustable to fit your face and your head. And you're not just stuck with whatever shape they're in like you would have in a normal plastic frame. So if you order a set of glasses, they'll probably arrive in a one-size-fits-most configuration. And just straight out of the box, they fit me all right, but it just wasn't perfect. So then you can make the proper frame adjustments for the width of your face, and then the temple adjustment for how tight you want them to be held to your face. And then the glasses fit you how you want them to fit. And I will say, I've used these a whole lot for a bunch of training events, mostly around water, so you don't have to worry about the glasses like flying off or not staying secured on your face. The frames also use a wraparound style to tuck in closely around your hearing protection and stay close enough to the face to be easily used with night vision. Now, someone out there is saying, wait, metal gets hot and cold, maybe I don't want that on my face. And neither did OpsCore. The Mark I coloring actually comes from a Cerakote finish that not only protects the frame from abrasion, corrosion, and chemicals, like we use them for on our firearms, but it also provides thermal insulation to the frame itself. And that insulation is obviously within reason. If you're like outside and it's like surface of the sun hot, yeah, it's gonna be hot. Everything's gonna be hot. But let's keep moving and get to the really cool stuff. If you haven't noticed, I keep mentioning lenses, as in more than one, and yes, you can change them out. The Mark I follows the core design principles at OpsCore of modularity through a super sleek design. And the value of this entire setup really goes through the roof when you start to realize that not only can you mold these glasses to fit your face perfectly, but you can also change the lenses to fit your mission needs on the fly. Like, I just normally run them with a regular tinted lens and just use them as regular schmegular civilian sunglasses. But if we're doing some field or water events or indoor shooting, I want to swap out the lenses to high contrast or clear. And then I'm using the same frames for an entirely different mission sets. And if you're paying attention, you may have noticed those little black inserts that hold the lens also, and those have some pretty cool stuff going on also. Included with the Mark Is are the standard rubber inserts. But same as the lenses, these can also be removed and replaced with others like the foam inserts. The foam insert is the same as the rubber on the outside, but the foam portion makes a ring around the eye that moves closer to your face to give additional protection from dust, wind, and debris. So then again, if my mission needs change, I need to go into more dusty or dirty environment, I could easily change out those inserts to have an optical solution that just better fits the actual mission set. But tell you what, let me show you how to change out these actual lenses. To change out the lens, just put your thumb and index finger on the center of the frame and flex the inside of the lens outward with your opposite hand to pop it out, and then you can slide it out completely. To remove the inserts, work opposite to the lens and push the insert out to the back of the frame. Here we'll install the foam insert. We'll install in reverse by placing the outer edge in position first and then work the rest of the insert into position from the rear of the frame. Installing the lens, you then insert from the front again, but again place the back edge in first and then work the lens into the insert so they lock in place. And voila, super easy lens change in like 3 seconds. But this is the step where you wipe them off if you have grubby hands like I do. So then this leads us into talking about the different lenses and then the different mission sets and features that they kind of fit into. Now, before we get too far into each lens, know that each lens meets the ballistic standard and they do not shatter or crack. And you may look for like the ANSI ballistic standard with these glasses, but there's more a problem with the actual test itself. Because the ANSI standard test, it tests to make sure the lens doesn't come free from the frame, but the Mark I is designed to have a lens that comes free from the frame. So it's not so much that the Mark I doesn't meet the ANSI standard, it's more that the ANSI test itself isn't really applicable to a modular frame at all. But anyway, let's move into the actual lenses. The first lens we'll start with is the standard clear. This lens provides UVA and UVB protection with 80% light transmission, providing you with clear view of screens and color indicators on flight controls and other instruments. And I use these mainly as like super high-end safety glasses, like if I'm doing dynamic movements inside a shoot house or something, or hell, just indoor shooting at all. And these work really great because then I can just be wearing my regular sunglasses and then transition from the tinted lenses straight to the clears and then use them indoors. And that's a good transition as we look at the tinted lenses next. That was a bad transition. The tinted lenses retain the same UVA and UVB protection while knocking down the visible light transmission to 12 to 15%, all while maintaining proper color recognition. And like I said, I use these lenses like 99% of the time, and one of the main features I like about the Mark 1s is they're actually pretty cool as just regular everyday sunglasses. And the tint works perfectly for everyday wear or when I'm out doing shoots on an outdoor range. But you may have noticed they don't actually have polarization, and there's a reason for that. And that's because polarization can actually do some really weird things and can actually make some screens and instrument panels unreadable if you have the polarization. So yeah, that's why it's not on there. All right, but let's look at some of the really cool lenses, and we'll start with the high contrast. The high contrast offers max visibility in overcast or foggy environments where you want definition of the surrounding terrain. The high contrast works by enhancing the visual acuity through highlighting the lights and shadows. And it really makes some objects just pop out at you. So these lenses really have more of like a mission or a tactical mindset involved with them. And you'd want to use these if you want to scan an area and have some shadows just really pop out at you. I did also notice that red dots stood out a good bit more, but I also found optical reticles had a ton more edge definition than they had previously. So then the high contrast, while good for like military stuff, would also be really good for like long range shooting or pretty much any shooting competition. I should do shooting competitions. I mean, I have all this stuff. All right, then the last lens, well, really not the last because I have a secret one I'm going to hide from you, but the last lens I'm going to show you is actually going to be the Laser Dazzle. The Laser Dazzle was originally designed for aviation Class 1 or Class 2 laser threats, as those became a more and more prevalent danger to pilots in recent years. And the FAA actually had a 41% increase in 2021 of pilots getting lased in both takeoff and landing. So these lenses are designed to block those blue 44 nanometer and green 532 nanometer wavelengths. And those laser wavelengths can cause blindness over time, but the main issue is seeing spots, halos, and overall distortion. And this Laser Dazzle is really what you're going to see as a focus for this whole OpsCore series, as a lot of these products work to mitigate a secondary threat. Beyond just the obvious ones of attackers and firearms, there are other threats that you may not be prepared for. So that's all the Mark 1 features and lenses and stuff. So let's move on to the next one and start looking at the OpsCore step-in visor. And first off, let me show you everything that comes with it. All right, so here we have our box for our step-in visor. Let's go ahead and get everything out of here. Ooh, what are these goodies? Okay, it looks like the first thing we get in here is the extra lens. I'm 99% sure that's what this is. Yeah, okay, so this is the actual tinted lens. So you get an extra lens with this. Yep, it's just the tinted lens. And then what else do we have in this packaging? Oh, great. Is this another cleaning cloth? Oh, it is. Another cleaning cloth. All right. We'll put that somewhere super important, but we'll set this to the side for now. Okay, so what's this? Oh, so this is the actual packaging. Look at this. It comes in this really, really nice bag. Like all this stuff, both the helmet and the step-in visor have these really nice bags they come in. I don't know what I'd use it for. All right, so here's our actual step-in visor. Wow, this looks really nice. We'll go over this in detail a little bit further, but let's just see what all comes in the box first. All right, then what is this? Okay, those are the small connectors. I'm not quite sure what that's for. I'm sure it's in the instructions. Okay, we'll look at these real quick. And the step-in visor. Oh, okay. So the large or the small connectors are what they're compatible with, different types of helmets. Kind of shows you how to install the different clips and how to align it and attach everything. So that makes sense. And then we have the different ways you can wear it, how it's compatible. Looks like you can stow it down. How do you stow it up like that? I gotta learn how to do that. Okay, that's interesting though. And then here it shows you how to remove all the gaskets, all the pieces to wear, just the normal stuff. We'll go over all this loosening and tightening, all this jazz in just a moment too. And then the actual lens replacement. Again, we'll go through all this. It's a little bit tricky, but I'll show you how to do it. And then the bungee replacement. If you've just somehow destroyed this and need new bungees, that's how you do it. And yeah, okay, that's all that comes with it. Okay, so now you know everything that you get. Let's go over the actual features of the visor itself. Starting at the side of the step-in visor, we see the side attachment tabs. These can be adjusted to give a tighter or looser fit when you integrate them into a helmet. To do this, just unhook and hook the loop and pull the cord downward to loosen its position. Then place it into the new correct position and reconnect. Tip though, if you have a fat head like mine with an XL helmet, go ahead and set those straps at the max length. Moving down the visor, we see the removable side gaskets that connect into the top side and nose piece of the step-in visor. These can be easily removed by popping out the top tab and pulling them free at the nose piece. So if it's like a nice clear day, you may remove the actual gaskets because it actually increases ventilation to the entire goggles system. And the gaskets serve much of the same function as the foam inserts on the Mark I we showed, as they provide added protection from like wind and debris and just general garbage that's in the area. But for me, I don't really use them, and most of the time I just hope I don't lose them. I lose them a lot. So I usually keep the inserts in a bag from TNVC with all my other helmet parts and bits. Moving around the step-in visor, we see the integrated nose piece. This piece stays in position and is not changed when you swap to various lenses. Continuing around, we see the other side of the step-in visor with the removable gasket and mirroring connection with the adjustment side straps. The top of the step-in visor is designed in a unique way to have a ledge that rides on the front of the helmet when stepping in the lenses for a position that is closer to the face. And by stepping in like that, it allows your goggles to still be on your face, but then your night vision goggles to still be compatible. And your night vision device may not be in like the absolute perfect position, but it'll work. And you can actually swap out all the lenses on the step-in visor to all the same lenses that we showed on the Mark Is. From the clear lenses to tinted, high contrast for those mission sets where heightened visual acuity is a must, and those dazzle lenses to protect you from secondary threats looking to take you out of the fight. Now, let me show you how to change the actual lens of the step-in visor real quick. The biggest trick is to get a nice cloth or object to get a good grip on the lenses themselves, and then remove the side gaskets from the lenses. Then, using your cleaning cloth, grab hold of the lenses and pull down firmly to free the lens. My cloth kept slipping, so I just used my grubby hands again. Once the lens is removed, grab the replacement lens and align the center hole of the step-in visor and lens, and then connect in each side of the step-in visor to the lens, one at a time. It will make a loud and audible click when it is put in position. Then you can connect in the side gaskets if you want to retain those in position also. And all of the actual step-in visor lenses are ANSI rated because there isn't an inherent flaw with the test and the design with that combination. And one thing of note is that the lenses of the step-in are also anti-fog coated. But I do want to say that I had like way less fogging on the Mark Is than I've had with like a ton of different other glasses that I use. But if you do find yourself getting some sort of fog inside the step-in visor, you can just remove the side gaskets and have some added ventilation. Now, I will tell you, like I hinted at, there is one more secret lens. And that's the photochromatic lens that was teased to us at SHOT Show. And this lens changes colors in seconds using some absolutely bonkers technology. And unlike a lot of other photochromatic lenses, this uses just regular light and not just UV light. So it actually works when you're behind glass, like in a vehicle. So can we show it? All right, well, what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna save that lens from when we connect it all up into the helmet after we've seen all the other OpsCore gear videos. So unfortunately, you gotta wait for that one. So let's do some pros and cons and start with the actual Mark Is. And the first big pro is the actual modularity of the entire system. From adjustable frames that fit any size face, with the ability to change the frame lens to meet your different mission sets, along with the low-profile design to be used as both civilian and duty use, the Mark Is checks all the boxes of a great piece of equipment to have in every situation. Plus, they're Cerakoted and they look awesome. All right, then the next big pro, the lenses. Each of the lens options offer you entirely different features while not having it shoved down your throat. You're able to buy just what you need or upgrade and expand if your mission or duty needs grow. Like, I don't know if I really need laser dazzle lenses for what I do, but it's always smart to have them around. All right, then, so let's talk about the negatives. And I really only have one con, and it's the actual frame design itself. And I'm sure the OpsCore team is hard at work on this one, but I would love to see even more adaptability and flexibility by offering some different frame styles and designs. For military, we get what we get, and most of the time we really don't care. But for a civilian, they may want to have some different choices, or they just may not like those frames. Personally, I really, really like those frames, but I understand that some people just may not. All right, then, step-in visor pros and cons time. For the first pro, it provides you a goggle solution where you can still use your night vision. I know I haven't shown you much of this yet, but the ability to connect into the helmet and create one seamless unit through the use of the ARC rail system makes the OpsCore products complement one another in an amazing way. And I know you want to see it all put together, but we have a whole lot to cover first. I'll say the next pro of the step-in visor, though, is much like the Mark 1s, the lens options themselves. Having the ability to change out the lens options to meet different requirements is absolutely huge and shows a foresight of thought at the beginning stages of design. And that photochromatic lens is probably the coolest thing ever, and yes, you'll see that at the end video. So then, cons of the step-in visor. I'd say it's actually the gaskets themselves and the difficulty of changing out the actual lenses on the visor itself. Swapping the lens of the step-in isn't the same refined and clean process of the Mark 1. It feels a lot more like you just commit to breaking everything and then it suddenly pops loose. The side gaskets also never seem to really lock into position. And I found myself constantly having to jockey with the side gaskets to keep them held in position, and then later on they just flop off. So anyway then, do I recommend these products? For the Mark 1, I'll say absolutely yes. For the step-in visor, I'll say if you need it, yes, but you probably don't. The Mark 1s are a great solution that meet our channel mantra of civilian gear that can be turned to be used in a tactical way to maximize the user in whatever situation they're in. The step-in visor, it's more for that super prepared citizen, like you're ready. Like if you're sitting there holding your OpsCore SF helmet, then yes, the step-in visor will be perfect for you. And I recommend you get some cool lenses. But otherwise, I'd focus on the Mark 1s as it gives you an optical solution that can be used without a helmet or any other accompanying gear. Whereas the step-in visor is dedicated to operate within the helmet setup. And as a civilian, you may just prefer the Mark 1 glasses overall. It's just the smarter overall purchase if you're going to pick up one of the two. All right, so then I hope our video on the OpsCore optics lineup was useful in your purchasing decisions. Now, make sure to hang out for video number 2 in our OpsCore series, where we dig into the respiratory division of OpsCore with the SOTR mask. And maybe by then, my amps will actually be off back order. All right, I want to say thanks to all of our Patreon supporters and all of our YouTube members. I love everything you do for the channel, and I love the support you give us. And I want to say thanks to everybody that likes, comments, and subscribes. Comment down below what lenses you're going to get for your Mark 1s. All right, everyone, watch out. All those different pieces up into the helmet to show it all in one. No, go on. Am I the only one that sees the irony that we're recording a video for sunglasses inside in the dark?